play every block.
The third defenseman out there.
Stopped by Dipietro.
Oh, great stop there by Dipietro.
Stopped again by Dipietro.
He is their entire team.
Tonight's game will be, C has played in 50 of the Islanders' 60 games so far. But how difficult is it for a goaltender when his team has scored the fewest goals in the league?
It's very difficult because you know that your margin of error is very limited. And Rick Dipietro, quite frankly, is the franchise now for the New York Islanders. Obviously by his contract, that was established a couple of years ago. But I will say this, he is the reason that the New York Islanders are even close at the moment to being in a playoff position. Not only is he a terrific goaltender, and he is becoming better and better. I've noticed the last few years his movement is less, which is a good thing. Sometimes you can overreact. But more than anything else, he is another defenseman for this team on a defense that isn't very good, quite frankly. And any shoot-in for the Maple Leafs tonight that they have to be very, very careful to try and keep it completely away from Rick Dipietro, because if they get it anywhere near him, he's going to grab the puck and clear the zone. He is the best in the league, without question, at handling the puck.
Yeah, you know what, and now I will concur with you that, Millsy. I was talking to Billy Guerin earlier this morning, the Islander captain, says, you know what, this guy gives us a chance to win night in and night out. The only reason why they're even 500 hockey with the most inept offense in the NHL is because of Rick Dipietro. Definitely in the top 10 in goaltending, in my opinion. He's earning his keep with that long-term deal that he did sign.
Yeah, but he's not very happy anymore, because all of a sudden Lundqvist in the Rangers right down the road, almost $7 million a year over 6 years, and he's saying, you know, that 15-year contract looked pretty good, but only $4 million? Pretty interesting now, isn't it?
Come on now, I wouldn't really complain about that, but talking Rick Dipietro, that does lead us
Think about it, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you're comparing yourself, no doubt, in the NHL. So going into fresh ice now with Dipietro, you've just mentioned it. Are they definitely building around him? Is he the Islanders' franchise player?
Well, I think he is, and this is what they're trying to do, is build around their goaltender position first. And they're saying they're not rebuilding, but they can't say that in that market. They're saying they're trying, but they are rebuilding. They're trying to rebuild from youth, and it always starts in the goaltending position.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. I mean, this is a guy that they invested a lot of money in. 15-year contract, unprecedented, probably in the league. And, you know, he's the guy that you really need to build around. Obviously, you can start from the net out, work on building a stronger defense, a tougher defense, and hopefully build a franchise that can compete.
You might recognize this name in Jeff Tambellini, and that's because this is his third call-up so far. Pressure to stick with the team?
I would think so, Andy. I mean, 23 years old. He's part of that great crop of the 2003 NHL draft. In fact, he was the first rounder for the Los Angeles Kings back then, going 27th overall. 30 goals last year in Bridgeport. Again, one of those young players from that draft that you think this is his time. He's only got one goal thus far in 12 games, but you know what? He's part of their youth movement. You know what? He has to stick and contribute somehow.
I spoke with him this morning. He's a wonderful kid, and of course he comes from a hockey background, and Steve Tambellini, and you know that Steve is helping him along on this call-up once again here for the Islanders.
Tonight, hoping the good luck will continue to travel on home ice. The New York Islanders just snapped a 7-game losing skid on Tuesday by defeating the Philadelphia Flyers. So that 7-game losing streak is what essentially dropped them to 13th place. Welcome back to Molson Canadian Leafs Nation pregame show. We'll talk a little Summit View close to home, sticking with the Islanders, and a little Andy Sutton. What does he bring to this team?
Well, you know what? 6'5", 245 pounds. That's what he brings, Andy. I mean, he's a stay-at-home defenseman. You know what? You don't want to get this guy mad, because he is a physical presence out there on the ice. Basically played at Michigan Tech as a OAU player there in the NCAA. Free agent signing. You know what? Nobody drafted this guy. Played the last 4.5 years with the Atlanta Thrashers, but there he is. He's found his home. Free agent signing this summer with the New York Islanders, and again, a reliable, dependable stay-at-home defenseman.
Talking of the defensemen, and we talked about the offensive output of the New York Islanders, or lack thereof. How much of that has also been a disappointing factor on the blue line, not contributing to that offense?
Well, listen, I mean, again, we talk about a league with a lot of parity amongst the teams, and I think if you can get offensive production from your defense, it's certainly a big bonus and certainly can help you win hockey games. And, you know, New York, I mean, a lot of teams are in the same predicament. You know, you need to find offense anywhere you can, and I think that when teams are investing in free agents or investing in building their roster, you got to get like guys in Toronto, for example, a guy like Stroman, let him develop, let him get confident with the puck, because down the road he can be a guy that you can count on to help you sneak out a goal in a big game when you really need it.
And Marc-Andre Bergeron is the guy who is supposed to provide some offense. He has done so. But you take a guy like Chris Campoli out of the lineup, who is a good offensive defenseman. He may be gone for the rest of the year with the injury, but not deep on the back end. Greg Millen mentioned the same thing with this Islander team. You need help from your back end somehow. When you're the last scoring team in the NHL, somehow production has to come from somewhere. Hopefully it does from the defense.
Campoli did have season-ending surgery. Now they've just lost Brendan Witt to a bruised knee as well. Well, Ted Nolan did speak earlier today on the depleted defense that his team has to work with.
Well, it's tough. I mean, you look at almost every team in the league, you take the top three defense out of the lineup, it's tough to replace those guys, but somebody's injury is somebody else's opportunity. Now, Bryan Berard has a chance to play. Young Johnson gets to play a little bit more minutes than what he's used to. Bergeron gets to go in on a regular basis now. So with Martinic, Witt, and Campoli out, it's a big dent, but it's an opportunity for everybody else.
We head back now to ice level with Paul Hendrick and Bob McGill to get a little bit more on tonight's contest. Gentlemen.
Thanks very much, Andy. And a guy we're going to be looking forward to watching here tonight is Matt Stajan. Plenty of ice
in his eyes.
Bill, on the verge of your 11th 20-goal season, how challenging has it been to maintain this consistent level, especially in the latter stages of your career?
You know what? I think the key is to just keep having fun playing the game. And, you know, for me, it's always fun to come to the rink. It's always fun to play in the games. And, you know, you just got to, you know, have a certain attitude towards the game.
Great to see the C here. Can your leadership skills be defined by some of the great players you've managed to play with over 16 years?
Without a doubt. I've been fortunate enough to play with some great players and some great leaders. Scotty Stevens, Kelly Buchberger. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, I've learned from some really quality people.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So the Islanders, as mentioned, went on that 7-game losing skid, went from a playoff spot now to 13th, but just as quickly as they can fall, and I guess the Leafs may be in the same situation, can they just as quickly rise up? The difference, brought to you by Direct Energy.
Well, you know what, Andy, a little bit of a different angle here between Brendan Witt and Matt Sundin. First of all, Brendan Witt right there is not going to play this evening. That's a big blow. We see him knocking his knee right there on the mid-ice hit against Philadelphia. That is a huge, huge blow for the New York Islander defense, because this guy was open.
You know, if you're going to be in this race, you got to take a leap and win 4 or 5 while other teams are playing 500.
Well, perhaps if you look at the numbers, that's the only safe thing for the Leafs right now. 14-1-1 against the Islanders on home ice. So far this season, they are 1-0-1 against them. They are taking to the ice to get this one underway. That will be seen right here on Leafs TV. Don't go anywhere, because we have arena access starting now.
Loading Leafs Nation Arena Access. Tonight, the New York Islanders versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Voting Home Depot Arena Access.
Former Wisconsin Badger Robbie Earl back in the lineup with the Maple Leafs here tonight as we are underway. Ian White along with Kyle Wellwood are healthy scratches tonight as Chad Kilger makes his return to the Leaf lineup as well. At center ice, it is slid in for Antropov as the big three are on the line together with Ponikarovsky and Sundin joining Antropov. Hit there against the boards as it's sent around to the far side. Kabina down the boards, tried to play it in front, now carried into the corner there effectively by Andy Sutton. Jammed to the boards is Ponikarovsky. That shoulder getting a test there as Comrie gets it out. Guerin unable to come up with the pass, and it's back down into the Toronto zone. Comrie off Stajan and on goal, and it will be Dipietro playing it aside, but it comes right to the wing where Tucker tries to keep it in but fails. Blake back ahead for Tucker. Stajan was loose and was hooked onto there effectively by Aaron Johnson, and it'll be a hooking penalty to Johnson. If he doesn't make this play, Stajan is in alone.
Well, the New York Islanders have been short 268 times this year. That's the fourth most in the National Hockey League, so they'll start in the penalty box in this game as Aaron Johnson hooks on enough to get the penalty. So the Maple Leaf power play is very important tonight, as Ted Nolan's team has been in the box an awful lot this season. 3 of 19 in their last 5 games, the Leafs with a man advantage. And of course, last night they had a goose egg, not only on the power play, but in the game. Here's a rolling puck in front of the net, and it just went wide. And it is shot out at center ice by the Islanders' Sutton. Great scoring chance there, and it just slid by the goalpost. Dipietro back of the net. Plays it off the boards, and it is scooped to center ice by Joe Vasicek. And one thing that is extremely important for the Maple Leafs tonight, they have to keep it away from the best puck-handling goaltender in the National Hockey League, Dipietro. Off the blocking glove, it goes into the screen and out of play. And the guardsmen of the galvanized gates tonight, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Proud to support Timbits Minor Hockey, where the first goal is having fun. Vesa Toskala in his first ever game against the New York Islanders, and Rick Dipietro 3-3-1 with a 3.68 goals against average lifetime against the Leafs. Dave Jackson of Montreal, Dan O'Rourke of Calgary are the referees. Steve Barton of Ottawa and Madison, Wisconsin's Dan Shakti are the linesmen. At center ice, a long shoot-in by Richard Park is handled there by Toskala, and he's going to hold on. Well, Paul Maurice has liked his team the last few games. Why? Because they've shown good patience against strong offensive teams, and that is one of the reasons why Toronto Maple Leafs have had some good success of late in their game in general. We have stuck Big Daddy Bob McGill down between the benches to keep an eye on things again this hockey game, as Comrie leads the Leaf power play and drops it back to Blake. He hits the line and works in on the left wing, but has it taken away, and Comrie can't keep it in for him. Vesa Toskala laying it back into the area back of the goal, and here is Kabina starting away. Kabina to center. Off the glass, knocked down by Dipietro, got a piece of it, but Martinic had to play it as it was in the non-trapezoidal area. Laid back along the boards for Comrie. He turns it over, and it's coming out at center ice, and Kabina will have to chase it back. Up on the left wing for Steen. Steen off Comrie's skate, carries in, Blake slid. Back to the point, it comes to Sundin, backhanded to the front of the net. And Steen plays it back, no one there. Penalty is just 18 seconds left in it. Sundin for Antropov. On the wing, Ponikarovsky couldn't get a backhand away. Sutton carries it into the corner. Blocked there by Antropov. Penalty is about to expire. Johnson's on the ice, and he gets the pass. But he bogs it down, now drops it off for Bergenheim, going to the net, a rebound, and Toskala down. Still has it freed up, and underneath his pad, he'll hold on. Timing is everything. And swimming works too sometimes. And here's the play. Shatan looks up. And a good little chance for the New York Islanders as they come out of the penalty box and they drive to the net. Well, Toskala, not once, but twice here went for a swim as Tambellini, the youngster who just came up from the minor leagues,
got an excellent chance to score.
Strongman did a nice job of containing Johnson as he got the good chance with a net partially open, and then Toskala got on his trunks and swam over there and made the smothering save. Here's a pass in front, a shot, and Toskala down makes the stick save there. Devereaux getting a piece of his man as it comes on the wing, and Gill will flip it out into the center right zone. And it's whistled down here as it went out of play, and there's a penalty coming here. They're going to give it for delay of game, I believe, to Hal Gill.
Well, Ted Nolan, one thing about this New York Islander team, they come to work. That is one of the things, if you see or ever watch a Ted Nolan's team, they always do work. They may not be the most talented, but they do work hard. And here's a look at the penalty as Hal Gill flips it, except it went on the wrong side of the glass if you're a Leaf fan.
3:35, the time of the delay of game penalty. Devereaux trying to chop it out. Comes back to Cabina, and he swipes it down the ice. The Leafs have given up 3 goals in 14 times short in their last 5 games. Pass partially blocked, then corralled by Devereaux and swept the rest of the way down the ice. Ian Moore to the bench, Steen and Stajan, the penalty-killing forward replacements. Comrie dropping it back for Bryan Berard. Former Leaf is across the line. Berard swinging it around the boards to the near side. Corralled there and sent to the blue line and back along the boards for Miro Shatan. Shatan to Comrie, now back to the point. Unable to keep it in was Marc-Andre Bergeron as it comes back into the Islander zone. Comrie. Shatan on the right wing. Into the corner. Off the backboards for Guerin and back to the blue line. Broken up by Antropov, who pushes it past Berard. A little too strong, and now it's goaltender Dipietro playing it around on the board. Bergeron will get things started with 50 seconds left to go in the penalty. On the right wing side, it goes for Fedotenko. Fedotenko plays it back in the net. Runs into Koliakovo, who gets a second chance to clear it. Makes no mistake. Dipietro likes to handle his stick with the reverse grip. I guess that's the term. Is that what it's called?
It depends, Joe. I asked him about that during the All-Star game, and he said when he really wants to fire it, he does it the conventional way. When he passes it, he does it the other way. A little bit of both.
Johnson back to the point. Slid off by Freddie Meyer to the far side. The drive coming. Toskala coming across nicely. Gets a piece of that and enough to hold on to it for a face-off with 10 seconds left in the penalty.
Well, you talk about puck handling, and there's Rick Dipietro on the penalty kill. He makes sure he passes the puck up to his goaltender. Here's one where he's going to overhandle it a little bit, and you know the defenseman ends up losing the puck. But here's how calm the guy is behind the net. He handles the puck better than I did as a defenseman, for gosh sake. But Greg Millen, he doesn't remind me of you back there, but he shoots the same way as you did, being that left-handed goaltender. But it takes a lot of confidence, and he has that to handle the puck the way he does.
And you know what? The puck is still around when he's finished with it, Big Daddy, unlike yourself.
No question, Joe.
All right.
I'd like to have him as my extra defense partner.
No kidding. No kidding.
Well, you will notice that the Islanders' defense, when he has the puck, they get right away from him, right to the corners.
Gill carries to the line and feeds it in, and here's Dipietro handling it again. Swept by Sutton around to an open corner as the Leafs are changing. Vasicek's clearing attempt blocked by Tucker. He takes it right to the net. Backhand try! And sprawling was Stajan, who was taken down as he headed for the net. Blake in front for Stajan. Back to the point. Strowman drive! Hit the crossbar! Anton Strowman strikes iron. On a bullet from the point. As the Islanders, Sutton gave the puck away in his own end. And that started a couple of good scoring chances. Islanders are changing on the go. Martinic up on the right side for Shatan. Gill chasing him. Shatan unable to center. Goes to the far boards to the point to Sutton. Long shot. Strawman lifted his skate to make sure he didn't deflect that towards the net. Back into the corner, though. Here's Stajan from a sharp angle. That was stopped. And Gill has control of it now, starting out of his own zone. On to Sundin. Antropov is in over the line now at the drive, and that was kicked away by Dipietro. Antropov working on the half board. Centers in front. Sundin couldn't get his stick on it. Comrie does to keep it in. That was a nifty little bit of hand passing there.
Yeah, that was a penalty as well.
Yep. Martinek closed his hand, gave it a couple of good fakes, and then fired it up the boards.
No call.
Pass ahead for Moore. Bounces away. Moore's right in a goal. Pulls it in. Another chance. Down was Dipietro. Leafs have had some great scoring chances. Comrie to Steen. His shot is blocked, and it bounces over Devereaux's stick. Devereaux may have been in the best position as we get an offside.
Could be 0-0 tonight, Joe.
Yeah, the way it's going.
White, the odd man out tonight, as Paul Maurice elects to go with 6 defensemen. And Anton Stralman, it might have been pretty tough to take him out of the lineup tonight in terms of his confidence after this tough play where he slipped, whoops, behind the net, and then made the play, turning the puck over, which resulted in the only goal for the Buffalo Sabres later on in the shift. Paul Maurice had the best line this morning when asked about that play. He said, I'm just going to tell him to sit beside Brian McCabe. He'll tell you a little story.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, if you play defense, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. A pretty good message there from the coach in saying, look, he's a young player. Young players are going to make mistakes. Even veterans make mistakes sometimes.
And from our completely useless information grabbed by Jeff Girodad tonight, we find out the Leafs are 0-2-1 in their last 3 games played on Valentine's Day, which was perfect. No love in the air at all. Played by Sutton out at the center ice area. Flipped in on the right wing. Comrie trying to settle the puck down. Now steps around Kavina. And the shot is stopped. The rebound. Looking for it on his back as Toskala was behind him.
He was doing a snow angel.
Yes, he was. Spread out. Ponikarovsky in with a drive, and he whipped it wide of the goal. Ponikarovsky was heading for the bench when the puck came to him. Now it's out at center ice. Guerin trying to get around Koliakovo. Koliakovo steals the puck and leaves it for Blake. Blake ahead for Tucker. Right beside him was Stajan. And it goes into the corner, and Martinek now is taken to the boards by Stajan. Blake can't get it back to the point cleanly. It comes to an open wing. McCabe forces it back, and Bergeron will play it ahead to Guerin, who gets it into the center ice zone. Koliakovo to McCabe. Up for Tucker. Laid down into the corner, grabbed there by Bryan Berard. He takes a hit from Blake. But the Islanders get the puck out at center, and it is snapped down into the Toronto zone. Fedotenko out there after it. Spun around on the play. And Stajan trying to move it up ice. Finds McCabe available. The quick pass ahead off Tucker's skate. And he couldn't come up with it. Fedotenko back in the center ice zone. Works against Stralman. Fedotenko across the line. Dropping for Hunter. And the shot is high and wide of the Leaf goal. Moore sidesteps a hit. Blake carries it back into the Islander zone. Off on the wing to Stralman. In front of the goal shot. Oh, great play by Stralman and a quick shot by Dominic Moore. But Dipietro came across nicely.
There's one thing you can't teach in hockey, and that's vision. Stralman shows you some terrific vision there as he finds the seam. Dipietro with a better read as he comes across on the shot.
A delayed offside at the Toronto blue line is whistled down. No score, first period. We're halfway through the opening stanza.
Well, Bryan Berard is quite a story in the National Hockey League, of course, from that horrific eye injury that happened when he was with the Toronto Maple Leafs so long ago, when he was a 23rd-year-old. And he's missed a season with his eye, a year and a half with a back injury as well. So he has had his share of major injuries, 2 back surgeries, and here he is still playing in the National Hockey League, and he's put up some incredible numbers as well. And this is since the eye injury, not including the back surgeries that he's had is going on. What a terrific player he has been with all the injuries taken into consideration.
I was watching the game in Buffalo the other night when Richard Zednik was injured. And I'll tell you, it brought back that awful night in Ottawa. And Bryan Berard was high-sticked by Marian Hossa, and it was as frightening a moment as I have seen, that's for sure. That ovation that you heard in the background was for John Bauer, who was in attendance tonight. No matter where the great goaltender goes, he gets a standing ovation from everyone. Meyer shot deflects in front of Toskala and goes into the near corner. Flipped to the line, but without a stick as Moores, he had to give his cue to Hal Gill, who may break his back by handling the puck with that small cue. Look how small. I can't use that thing. I'm going to pick up something longer. At center height, he plays it over the line. Antropov, and it's whistled out on the offside. He might have broke his back trying to play hockey with something that small. It was a nice gesture by Dominic Moore.
It was, but not even close.
No.
No, Vesatoska is going to go out and help out, pick up the hardware. Dominic Moore can't believe it. Yes, you have to have fun.
Yep. Here's Moore.
And you'll give him the stick. Look at this.
Look at it. It's one of the mini sticks. He's got his picture on it. It's like one of the mini sticks that you get a Matt Sundin stick to play ball hockey.
Mini sticks. Mini sticks, Joe. That's what they call it now. You were right the first time.
I like going in the sporting goods store and picking up the junior stick.
That's it. Here's Martinez coming to center. Gets it over on the left wing side, and a shot is blocked by Koliakko, and the rebound is fired on goal, stopped by Toskala. Andy Sutton back into the Islander zone, and now starts out with a pass that is broken up. Kilger unable to move with it, fired in by Jeff Tambellini, and Toskala will leave it back at the goal. 8:16 left to play in period number 1, and the Leafs still looking for a goal. They've not scored one since the overtime winner by Antropov against Detroit. There's Koliakko. His pass knocked away. Played by Hilbert back into his own zone. A long lead pass. Comrie is offside at the blue line on a close play.
Well, Bryan McCabe, since his return from the injury, and you look at the ice time, oh, we're just going to ease him in and see how his conditioning is. 23-14, 23 minutes, 25-41 the other night. Unbelievable athlete and how terrific shape he's in.
I guess his conditioning was fine. Here's Guerin on the half-boards with a shot stopped by Toskala. Comrie tried to find him again, and Carvelet got his stick in the passing lane and now finds Ponikarovsky, who gets it on to Sundin. Through center and dropped for Ponikarovsky. From the slot, a shot that was stopped. The rebound deflected right on, stopped by goaltender Dipietro. Another shot is stopped. Ponikarovsky, that could mean another drive off a leg. Ponikarovsky back in the net for Sundin. Sundin with Antropov in front of the net, and went off the skate, cleared by the Islanders out and down the ice. And is this going to be enough for icing? No, it's waved off by linesman Dan Shakti. Carvelet running back in his own zone, trying to get organized. Here is young Stralman banking it ahead, picked off by Vasicek onto Hunter. Trent Hunter in with a shot that's being deflected by Carvelet's stick up into the screening and out of play with 6:50 to go in a scoreless first.
Wow, when Matt Sundin looked at the lineup tonight, he must have had a little bit of a smile on his face knowing that Brendan Witt is out for a couple of weeks with a knee injury, because normally it's Brendan Witt all over Matt Sundin, and they have terrific battles, and they have over the years, but no Witt tonight. And the Matt Sundin line has been dominating down low so far in this game, and he's a warrior for the Islanders. He's always up in the top of the heap in block shots and hits.
A shot goes off a stick and into the screening again behind Toskala. They'll face it off once more.
So look for Matt Sundin's line to continue to work behind the goal line, and they should have some success tonight with Ponikarovsky and Antropov as well with that size.
Stajan, Tucker, and Blake, and Bryan McCabe and Koliakko joined as the defense tandem here, and it is knocked into the corner, and Stajan has to chase his man in there after it. Vasicek has it underneath him, now flipped it to the side of the goal, trying to jam it in, and it's cleared back to the net by Stajan. Stajan to Blake, and Blake starts away. with Tucker. Banked into the far corner. Tucker going in there against Bryan Berard with a hit. Oh, Blake got filled in by Trent Hunter. Back come the Islanders. Bergeron dropping for Vasicek. And that shot was going wide, but it is snared by Toskala. And there'll be a face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Blake, I don't think, saw Trent Hunter until it was too late.
Well, Darcy Tucker, you want him in on the forecheck. You lay it into the corner, and he gets in there first ahead of Bryan Berard. And actually, Jason Blake goes in to get the loose puck, and he ends up taking a pretty big lick on the play right there by Trent Hunter as he runs him over as the Islanders pick up that loose puck and go back the other way.
It's the 185th hit for Trent Hunter. That's third in the National Hockey League, so he's done that before.
Trent Hunter and Jason Blake played together for 5 seasons as Islanders. Although on that occasion it looked like someone didn't pay enough at the dinner. Played around on the backhand into the corner, and it is Moore flipping it back, but it's cut off before it reaches Gill, and the centering pass went off Bergenheim. Played high to center ice. Johnson puts it back into neutral ice, but into the Leaf bench and out of play. There's no score here in period number 1.
Garth Snow, the general manager of the New York Islanders, has built this team to bring in a lot of young players and then bring in some veterans and give them one-year deals. That means if he is a seller, and the Islanders will find that out very shortly, and there's Garth Snow, the general manager of the Islanders, he has a bunch of players that he might be able to sell. Players like Mike Comrie, Fedotenko, Trent Hunter, Park, Stajan, and Vasicek. All those players could be appealing for some general manager in the National Hockey League because they will come cheap and they may be a missing piece for somebody trying to take a run at it.
Gill takes it back into his own zone. No score here in the first period. Robbie Earl with Kilger and Talusti can't get into the zone. Earl now does, and by the time he did, Kilger had not managed to get out of the zone, and it's offside.
And you remember Mike Comrie's run last year in the playoffs for the Ottawa Senators. Many thought, why Mike Comrie? Well, he turned out to be a pretty good pickup at a cheap price for the Senators, and he'll be available again, as will those other players mentioned.
Of course, the Senators have already made a little noise in the pre-trading deadline derby. As it comes up on the wing now and is pushed to center ice by Como up on the left side for Aaron Johnson. Trying to swing by. He goes into the corner with Gill. A puck comes free for Tambellini, but he couldn't do much with it. Now Gill takes Johnson in against the boards. Blake Como coming out of the corner, has some room and the chance to shoot. Still with it. Well, he's run out of room and the chance to shoot. Still has the puck though. And Tambellini will swing it into the corner. Around on the boards, Kilger has his man tied up. Gill at Como. Out Como with the puck again on the near half boards. Como looking for a man in front. Took a shot. That was stopped. Toskala was down, and it's up on the wing, and Talusti is able to send it out and down the ice, but this is going to be an icing charge. So it will be brought back into the Toronto zone once more.
Had a real nice talk with Jeff Tambellini, and he's a wonderful kid. No surprise to me because his father, Steve, is a wonderful gentleman as well. And as you can see, the Islanders, they're thinking, well, let's do the genetics thing because they have 3 players that are former Islanders. Now their sons are in the organization. There's a good look at Jeff, who is tearing up the American League in goals. And that's why he's up here. 26 goals in 43 games, and 26 goals leads the AHL at the time of the call-up.
Face off to the left of Toskala, won by Toronto. Strawman around on the boards for Earl. Leafs need a change of players. Earl gets it off on the wing to Gill, and the change comes now as Gill dumps it down into the Islander zone and heads for the bench. Martinic taking it around back of the net with 4:10 to play in a scoreless first period. At center, a pass deflected by Guerin to the late blue line. Hilbert was taken down. There's going to be a penalty here against Toronto.
Matt Sundin takes a penalty down through the neutral zone, and it's Andy Hilbert he takes down. And it's actually started on the near side in front of the bench there where Sundin just kind of lays into him, and he's going to get an interference call on there. But Hilbert slapped Matt Sundin's stick in front of the Islanders bench, and as the play moved across the ice, Matt lines him up, but he gets the interference call because the puck's nowhere in sight.
Pretty good hit. But the penalty nonetheless. Second power play of the game. Bergeron. On their first power play, they mustered just one shot on goal. Here's Comrie down low for Stajan. Trying to send it through. They score! Going to the net was Bryan Berard.
Now, did he kick it in?
May have gone in off his shin pad. I think they'll look at it.
I think they're going to have to look at this one. Was there a kicking motion or not as Berard goes to the net? A broken play. Guerin in front of the net. Kabina in good position with him here. And Stajan with a cross crease pass over the top of the stick. And I think that's going to be a good goal from that angle. Let's have another look here. Well, no kicking motion. It goes off his stick, onto his foot, and into the net. And there is no kicking motion as well. So I'm going to look at it. There's stick, puck, and there's absolutely no kicking motion whatsoever on that play.
I don't know. I've seen some goals where there was a kicking motion that is counted now. That was a funny goal the other night.
They're difficult sometimes, for sure, to call.
Absolutely. But this will be a good goal. I don't think there's any question about it. Bryan Berard's going to have his 5th of the year. So the Islanders draw first blood on a power play. And Bryan Berard scores his 5th as he sneaks in from the left point. Now in on the left wing, going to the net, Fedotenko. And he couldn't get a shot away. Back to the net goes Trent Hunter. Hunter to Fedotenko, sharp angle, stop, sprawling out Toskala to smother the puck and hold on. Stajan and Comrie draw the assists, and tonight's X Factor is brought to you by Gatorade.
Martin Eck is a player that made the All-Star team. Pretty handy player for the New York Islanders. Had been in some injury problems the last few years, but he's been healthy this year and played very well. And Dominic Moore, since coming over, has been a handy player for the Maple Leafs, particularly in the penalty killing and the checking department.
Here's Sundin in on the wing with Ponikarovsky going to the net. And the shot was deflected wide of the goal. Vasicek crashed into the goal, but it didn't dislodge. And it's back in the center ice zone. Sundin trying to flip it in, knocked out of midair there by Martinic. And it is back at the side of the net for the veteran defenseman who plays it up at center, and it's deflected into the Leaf zone by Andy Hilbert. Koskela leaving it for Stajan, who tried to reverse the puck, sent in front of the goal, and almost a turnover there to create a dangerous chance. Tucker rolls it into Islander territory. Blake and Tucker trying to double team Berard. Hilbert has it against the board. Blake got it back to the net, couldn't center, and Stajan was all alone out there if he was able to. And it shot down the ice, but no icing here. Ponikarovsky reverses the puck, takes the hit. Cade gets it on to Stajan. Stajan off the boards. Blake can't get it out. And it's back into the near side now for Carlo Ponikarovsky. Stajan deflects it, but too far for Tucker. Berard will regroup the puck, and it's cleared to center ice. Off the leg, Ponikarovsky frees it up for Stajan. Stajan for Devereaux, and now Tucker backhands it in before peeling to the bench. Bergeron off Bergenheim to center. And Gill will try to regroup it and finds Boyd Devereaux back down into Islander territory. Dipietro patiently waits for it to send it back in for Sean Bergenheim, and comes right in front of the net. And Moore was off to the side of the goal and couldn't reach it. Bergeron off the boards to the blue line. Strawman got tangled up there. Steen and Gill, and it's poked into, right on top of Bobby McGill's head.
Fans in your seats during intermission as Jim McKinney will be on the ice to shoot.
No. Look at this. Boy, oh boy. There's a guy who's got money coming out his wallet, throwing stuff around in the crowd like that. Boy, instead of putting that on eBay, you could have made a few dollars. On the boards, Tambolini cycles it around back of the net. Jumping onto it is Como. Como coming out with it with a shot. That was blocked, but there's a rebound and centered in front, no one home. Martinic gets it into the corner. Nielsen trying to curl out with it and can't. Kabina breaks his stick in his efforts, and a penalty is coming on the play because of the DNA evidence. Swept to the side of the net. Nielsen couldn't get it in front. 6 attackers on the ice for the Islanders. Martinic, Comrie, back in front. Antropov doesn't have a stick. Martinic with it again to Como. Como with a shot off the side of the goal and off the glass. Into the corner it goes for Sutton. Now to Comrie. Comrie still with it. Fakes the pass. Drops it back. Como holds. Still with it. Centered in front by Comrie and it's blocked. Still haven't touched it, and now it's intercepted by Carberlay, and so the Leafs will be a man short again.
Toronto Maple Leafs get running around in their own zone, and there is the slash right in front of the official, and up goes the yards as Como gets the slash there from Cabina, and Cabina now getting a new hockey stick, so the evidence is all over the ice, and the Maple Leafs have to go back to penalty killing with 15.8 seconds to go.
Well, you talk about earlier on Bryan McCabe going back. It's a little reverse play, but Bryan McCabe takes a quick little heads up. He knows he's got pressure. Nice little backhand pass to Matt Stajan, and they get the puck moving out of the zone.
19:44, the time of the infraction to Cabina. The Leafs will get clear of it, and that should just about do it for the period. As the Islanders will start the second period with the man advantage after scoring on their second power play opportunity of the game. And it is a 1-0 Islander lead.
Well, after the Toronto Maple Leafs came out of the gate fairly well, Dipietro with some strong early saves. The second half for the Maple Leafs, flat, and that's why they're down by a goal.
Well, you're right, Mills. In the start of a 5-game homestand, they got to have a better effort. They got to need a little bit more passion here in this second period coming up.
8-6, the shots favor the Islanders. Berard with the only goal.
Game brought to you by Molson Canadian. Bryan Berard scores for the Islanders on the power play. They lead Toronto 1-0 after 1. You're watching Molson Canadian Leafs hockey here on Leafs TV HD. Period goal, New York 1, Toronto no score. Once again, Leafs TV, and once again, Peter Puck. Tonight, odd man rushes. 3-on-2 right here on Leafs TV.
Hi there. You know, this game may seem a little helter-skelter, every man for himself, but not so. Let's look at a play where the offensive team has broken out of its defensive zone quickly. It's called the 3-on-2 break with 2 defensemen in front of the goalie. Now the center passes me to his right wing, who goes into the corner taking 1 defenseman along with him. The center moves up while the left wing breaks toward the goal. The other defenseman has 2 men to cover, so the right wing passes to whichever player is free, and that player takes a shot on goal. Another version of the 3-on-2 starts out as before. This time the center carries me to his left and slows down. The left wing then cuts in toward the net as 1 defenseman covers the center. The center passes me through the defenseman's legs to his left wing, who gets off a shot. Okay, now here's a third possibility, starting out with me carried by the center. But he drops me, that's a drop pass, moves to the right, pulling a defenseman with him, while the left wing does the same. Then the right wing cuts to the middle, finds me waiting, and takes his shot. You know, Shakespeare might have been speaking of hockey when he said, "The play's the thing." Oh, didn't you know? Oh, yes, I do drama and comedy. Kind of slapstick. On someone who is slap shot. Get it? Yeah. Uh-oh. See you later, folks. I'm on. Yikes!
Welcome back to the Air Canada Centre, where the New York Islanders have the lead. In tonight's first period summary, brought to you by Proline. The only goal, Bryan Berard's 5th on a power play from Chitan and Comrie. Prior to from Molson and Molson Canadian fan favorite contest winner Dean Edumura, we're joined by Dr. Corin Greenberg of the Pediatric Oncology Group of Ontario. Molson was proud to make a cash donation of $1,000 on behalf of Matt Sundin. So the Islanders start the second period on the power play, as it is cleared down into the Toronto zone and around back of the net. McCabe on the backhand, got it off the glove, but a good play made there by Bergeron, but he can't keep it in, and it's down the ice into Islander territory. Dipietro trying for the quick up, and Guerin now drops it off. Bergeron up on the right side for Comrie. Comrie loses it. Moore couldn't slash it out. Here's Berard at the point. Now to Comrie. Comrie back to Bryan Berard. Berard to Comrie again at the half boards, trying to close in. Sauces it down low. Guerin can't send it to the net. Berard, far side, Bergeron. Comrie with it again. Stajan is down low as it comes back to Bergeron. Shot deflects just wide of the far pole, and it is swatted out of midair by Hal Gill out and down the ice. Good deflection there by Bill Guerin in front.
Mike Comrie's doing a good job on the half boards where he was. He's now off the ice on that last power play for the Islanders, holding players, and that's what set up the point shot and the tip in front.
Under a half minute to go in the infraction, as Kubina is in the box. Steen can't get to it. Johnson cradles it and moves to the middle of the ice. Gets it returned from Meyer. The pass in front of the net, blocked, cleared to the line, kept alive by Johnson. Fed back in around by Fedotenko. Back of the net for Bosacek. Now to Trent Hunter. Hunter, a pass blocked by Steen, but kept alive by Hunter. Bosacek has it knocked away by Koliakovo as the penalty to Kubina is over. Bosacek, back of the net. Loses it. Pavel Kubina starting out with a pass for Steen. He is ridden off the disc. And the Islanders counterattack and bring it back in. Fedotenko's shot right in the chest. Taken there by Toskala on a hard shot. Koliakovo down and limping as he skates to the bench. Long pass down into the Islander zone. Koliakovo just reaching the bench now. Here's Johnson. Launching it right back into the Toronto zone. Stralman swinging it around the boards, but Stajan cut it off. And Stralman blocked the pass for the front of the net. Kept in by Sutton. Taberle for Sundin. And he'll get it elevated into neutral ice. Sutton can't track that down. Wrapped to center ice, though, and Stralman makes a move there to keep the puck playable and sends it back to the net. Dipietro in charge. Lays it on the glass over on the right-hand side, and Stajan gets rid of it to center. Taberle and Stralman exchanging the puck. Taberle gives it back to the youngster, and Anton Stralman carries it out. Stralman hitting the line. Took the wrist shot. Glove save made by the right hand of Dipietro, and he's going to hold on, and Carlo Koliakovo is going to go and try it out.
Well, Carlo Koliakovo again favoring his knee. 3 times he's had problems with that right leg. And the same night, you can imagine, against the Rangers, and then against Philadelphia earlier this season, you can see the frustration. And this was the knee-on-knee that hit him, that put him out for an extended period of time. And now tonight, he hurts the knee again. And this is an awkward-looking play where Hunter just falls right on the back of his leg. And Bob, what do you see down there on the bench?
He was grimacing when he came back to the bench, but I think he's going to be okay. And as you said, I think the thing that is the problem is that I think he's had so many problems with that knee that when he gets a little injury, I think he panics a little bit because he's scared that he's really going to have another injury.
Can you get a little twinge?
Yes, sir.
Stajan took his man down, then had to regain his stick as Tucker starts it ahead for Blake. Blake with speed across the line. Blake into the near half board, loses it, turnover, and an odd man rush. Here's a chance now for Como. He drops it back, the pass into the slot, and Nielsen couldn't come up with it as the Islanders really misplayed that badly, but then got a bonus chance there and a pad save made by Toskala. He did the scissors there and snapped that left leg up.
Well, he got caught on a changeup, and that's why he was out of position initially.
Off the boards, Johnson. Blocked by Moore. Fed to center ice. Devereaux not able to come up with it. Here's Frederick Meyer, the 4th. Sends it down into the Toronto zone. Isn't that his name?
Yes, it is.
Frederick Meyer, the 4th. So I don't know whether you call him just, do you call him Freddie the 4th, or do you put Meyer back in? I don't know. Here's Moore. A pass is backhanded to center, and here's the aforementioned Mr. Meyer backpedaling into his own zone.
I was wondering how long you'd do that.
Here's a chance now for Hilbert. Closing in, and a big save made by Toskala, and he was 15 feet out of the goal. Moore with Devereaux. A shot deflects wide to the Islander cage. Here's Devereaux back of the net. Koliakovo's back into the game. Along the boards, it's Moore. Steen getting it freed up, trying to find Devereaux and failing. Kilger is out there as well as it comes to center ice, but on the right wing side, it's Trent Hunter. He fans badly on the shot. Had to look to see where it was, and it was right in his feet. Off the stick with Devereaux. Koliakovo trying to carry into the zone, and Sutton gets it into the center ice area. 1-0 Islanders. Power play goal from Bryan Berard. Fedotenko in for Vasicek, and a shot deflected off Toulouse wide of the net. Fedotenko back to the point. Martinic sends it around back of the goal off the stick of Hunter. It goes to Sutton. Sutton loses it to Kilger, who plays it around on the boards, and Yuri Toulouse looks up ice. Pass ahead for Earl, and he almost came away with that. Backhanded down into the Islander zone a little deeper. And Koliakovo slamming the door as he may have banged that knee again. Strawman wraps at it, can't keep it out. Chad Kilger crashed into Koliakovo on the last exchange, and now Antropov back in over the line with a pass off the skate of Sundin, sends it to the net. And Antropov may have got a piece of that, but he deflected it well wide of the goal. Big Joe Vasicek sends it back into the lead hand. Off the boards, it's tipped there by Antropov, but not out. A shot from a sharp angle. Stop the wraparound attempt is blocked. As Toskala got over there, now it comes in front of the net. Sundin is there to take it to safety. Up ahead for Ponikarovsky, and deep into Islander territory it's played. Dipietro swinging it around on the boards. Bergenheim couldn't help him out. They'll regroup it back to the net. Meyer got it ahead. Bergenheim off the boards for Shatan. That doesn't work. And it is McCabe finding Steen, who hands off to Tucker, who gets it down deep into the Islander end. Around the boards near side, cleared out at center. Unable to make a play with it there was Nielsen. And is back down into the Toronto zone. Long lead pass for Stajan. There really hasn't been a good scoring chance since the power play.
A lot of play in the neutral zone so far in this second period.
And now in over the line it goes to Como. If you think you've got a mouse in your television set, do not adjust your set. The squeaking you hear is not Bob McGill's mind thinking, it's the door right next to it. A chance in front for Stajan.
Thanks,
off a stick. What a brilliant goal! How did Matt Stajan know he could bank that in like that?
Unbelievable. Tucker's going to get it.
What a huge
this is just a beautiful, pretty goal here. Sit up. Put it towards the net, or maybe put it towards the corner. You never know, or in the slot. Stajan just throws it towards the middle of the ice. It hits Tucker's foot, and Dipietro is cheating a little bit here, and it just catches him in the short side. And the Leafs score a goal, and we got a tie hockey game. Often when you're not scoring, how many times does it happen in hockey? It's an ugly one that normally goes in, and that was about as ugly as it could possibly be.
When Darcy tells his kids tomorrow morning it'll be an end-to-end rush.
Look at him laugh. The way it was going earlier in the season.
Put it right up in the top, right up where the peanut butter was kept, until they actually get to see the highlight of it, and then he'll have to own up to it. So Tucker gets the goal. It's his 10th of the year, and the first goal in 87 minutes and 51 seconds for the Leafs.
Where a goaltender would throw a stick up or it would hit a leg, and he was snake bitten, so this evens things out quite considerably.
Yeah, when you can't buy a goal, sometimes you have to have them go in off your rear end or something. So Darcy Tucker's got 4 goals in his last 4 games. A couple of them aren't classics, but it's not how, it's how many, right?
Well, they say in the course of an 82-game schedule, if you show up every night and work hard, you'll be even out.
You'll be rewarded with a couple of gifts. Some of them gift wrapped, and that one was very much wrapped. And they have seen our replay and adjusted the scoring astutely. So it'll be Tucker from Stajan and McCabe, I believe. And no, they're going to say Stajan and Steen. So Steen gets a gift assist. Darcy Tucker gets a gift goal, and so does Matty Stajan get a gift assist. But it's a 1-1 tie. At the point, Sutton. Shot blocked. Bina bumps it out at center ice, and Martinek's going to shoot it right back in again. Antropov gets a new cue and has it at center and couldn't quite get it on to Ponikarovsky, who was breaking. To Bina. Down on the boards for Ponikarovsky. Flipped ahead for Sundin. Nice play to find Comrie, but it's a 2-on-2 rush with Antropov. Comrie puts the brakes on, finds some room to Koliakovo. Wrist shot doesn't make it through, but it goes right to Comrie. His shot is on goal! They score! Much better goal than the last one.
Absolutely. And the Toronto Maple Leafs working around here. Comrie will get it back to the point, and it'll hit a leg and go right back onto his stick. And Vasicek knocked down Sundin initially and then let him go. And there is the play where Sundin is down, and then Vasicek just lets him go. He's right in front of him, but he's on the wrong side of him defensively. He needs to be between the net and the body, and he isn't, and that's why Matt Sundin is wide open. He just taps it in past Dipietro, who had no chance on that.
2 goals a minute and a half apart. Blake's shot is right on. Rebound is swept wide of the goal. And the Leafs grab the lead for the first time in the game. McCabe sending it back down into the Islander zone. It's the 24th goal of the year and the 59th point of the season for Matt Sundin. Fedotenko against the boards. Comrie and Ponikarovsky will draw the assists on the goal. Here's Hunter. Trying to center, he does. It goes off a skate and will come harmlessly to center ice. Well, the Maple Leafs have taken a 2-1 lead. Around on the boards, Tucker let it go. He was heading for the bench. Islanders counter-attacking over the line for Stajan. He pulls the brakes on. Former Buffalo Sabre sends it in on goal, and Toskala is going to hold that. The Leafs with the lead 2-1 here in the second.
What a career Matt Sundin has had.
The draw to the right of Toskala with the Leafs leading by a 2-1 count now. Berard plays it around back of the net. Park goes in there after it. Richard Park trying to lay it in for Stajan. The wraparound attempt on the backhand. Fed wide of the net. Another chance comes in front. Down is Toskala quickly to smother the Sean Bergenheim wraparound attempt.
Toskala has terrific flexibility, and you'll see him here just take one leg and push right out, straight across, and he's very good laterally. That's one of the reasons why he's such a good goaltender.
Here's Bergeron around back of the net. Got it in front of the net, and the shot by Stajan was partially blocked by Earl getting his stick on Stajan, and it didn't really have the velocity it needed. Park in the corner. Back of the net. Here is Bergenheim trying to center, and Earl picks off the loose puck and carries to center. Robbie Earl in across the line. Passes it in behind Talusti. Way out of the goal is Dipietro, and he's going to roll this down the ice. It'll be wide of the net, but no icing. Davina in over the line. Earl and Comrie are offside, and it'll be brought back into the center ice area with 8:42 to go.
Carlo Koliakovo again having some tough luck as he has had all season long. Here's the first play as Trent Hunter falls on his bad knee. And then the next shift, Kilger hits his leg again. He must just wonder sometimes why he even gets out of bed.
Got a bullseye on it.
Oh, boy.
Well, if you got a bad toe, you know you're going to stub it. Roberley in the corner, off to Sundin. Pass was partially deflected. Kubina has to hustle to it. Tried to snap it ahead for Ponikarovsky. He tried to make a little relay there for Sundin that didn't work at the Islander blue line. Back of the net, Andy Sutton. 2-1 Toronto. This is the start of a 5-game homestand. And then the Leafs will go to Ottawa. And while they're having a day off in Florida, the trade deadline arrives on the 26th. Across the line for Como. Laid in front of the net, broken up by Comrie. A lead pass just out of the reach of Stajan. Out of the net is Dipietro. They're playing around the boards, and Martinic finds a way to get it out. Poliakovo, back it goes to Blake. Blake falls, turned over at the blue line for Comrie. Comrie to Hilbert. Hilbert across the line, the drop pass, the shot right on, and down is Koskela to get his glove on the rebound. Stajan pinning it against the boards with Hilbert and Poliakovo. Knocked back to the net and into the corner, and Comrie has control. Comrie to the point to Johnson. Pass in front, down is Koskela, still free, the puck is loose, and Blake takes it to safety, but runs into the official, only to have the play blown dead anyway. And it may be Stajan with the hook. Or is it McCabe? No, it's McCabe.
And there was a loose puck in front of the net. And Stajan on Hilbert. First of all, he's grabbing on. He gets away with it there with the free arm. But then the hook right there, the can opener by McCabe on Garrett. And it wasn't the back. It was the back official that called it as well.
Did he get the right guy?
Oh, I think he did, but you might have been able to take both on that particular play. You wouldn't want to do that, mind you. Once enough.
Fourth power play opportunity of the game for the Islanders, who scored their lone goal with the man advantage.
Number 24, Bryan Berard. 2 minutes for
There's Marc-Andre Bergeron starting out of his own zone. To center, alley-oops it deep into the zone. Gill trying to take his man Guerin. It goes to Antropov. He changes the angle, and down the ice it goes. Berard. Back of the net, starting out. Bryan Berard up on the right wing for Shatan. That's going to be offside, as Guerin was in about a half stride early. Put the play offside.
Well, Ted Nolan is very proud of his 2 sons that are playing hockey. Brandon's at the Carolina organization. He's been up a few times this year. And during the All-Star break, Ted Nolan went to see his son Jordan in Windsor. He told me a long time ago, this kid's pretty tough. He gave him a little lecture this year about not fighting as much and staying on the ice before he went because he wanted to see him play.
How long did it take?
He got suspended that game. And Ted Nolan was one tough customer.
Yes,
I played with him in junior at the Sault Ste. Marie. I know you watched him a lot, and he probably had a little smile on his face as well.
I think he did. He was on a Sioux team that had its share of tough guys, too.
I ran into him a couple of times when he played for the Detroit Red Wings.
Did you? Boy, Bobby. Pass into the slot was behind Berard. Played around back of the net. Shatan loses it. Kubina snaps it. Berard, good play to keep it in, but it's turned over. And Moore will skate at the center. Moore going to make a little move to get through the defense. Has it taken away, and Berard starts back with a pass up for Shatan. Good hit by Poliakovo. Comrie works it back towards the point. Slid into the corner for Garrett. Guerin around back of the net. Comrie on the far half boards. Guerin is down low, but Comrie works off. Gives it back to Guerin to the point to Berard. Shot is deflecting, and it's going into the screen and out of play. 28 seconds remaining in the period. This is what you like about Carlo Poliakovo. He is one of the defensemen that will provide a pretty good hit.
Well, he does. And, you know, the big thing, too, is he's going to use his legs right there to spring himself into Shatan right there. And you know what? That's a good sign, knowing that he's been hurt a couple times in this hockey game, that he's still willing to sacrifice his body to make a big hit at the blue line. And he's one of the few defensemen on this team that really sort of makes other players on the other team sort of take a look up when they're coming into the offensive zone.
Right along the boards, Hunter had some problems with it, loses it, but it's regained by the Islanders. Vasicek closes in, he hit the post, they score! In the doorstep and in the blue paint was Fedotenko after the shot by Vasicek hit the iron, and the Islanders have tied it with a power play goal.
Well, Ted Nolan calls Vasicek a work in progress, trying to get him more into the dirty areas where he can contribute and go to the net. And a giveaway here by the Toronto Maple Leafs as Cabina lets it go, and then Toskala might be a little bit too far right, although it's right off the post, and Fedotenko makes no mistake as Toskala got the initial piece of that shot. Hal Gill loses position in front of the net on Fedotenko.
11th goal of the year for Fedotenko and his 6th by way of the power play.
But the giveaway initially here by Cabina and a little mix-up as the Leafs don't get the puck out of the zone, costs them a power play goal against.
A shot by Fedotenko deflects wide of the net. Game tied at 2s. As McCabe one-hands it back to the goal for Carlo Koliakovo, gets it ahead to Blake, who turns back behind his own net. Carlo Koliakovo now in being pressured by Vasicek, drops it back. Stajan's had his helmet knocked off as McCabe stick handles by the bonnet, gives it to the helmetless Stajan, who flips it in. Vasicek and Johnson with the assist. Blake back to the point. Koliakovo back to the goal for Tucker. Tucker banks it back to the point to McCabe. Wrist shot coming in traffic in front, and Blake couldn't lift the stick of Johnson to get the shot. Ryan McCabe. Darcy Tucker had it bounce over his stick. Nielsen gets it into the corner, a centering pass. Goes off a stick, and now Blake will chop it out at center ice. Andy Sutton launches it right back down into the Toronto zone. As it's centered in front of the net, the shot by Como goes off Cabina into the screen. Great chance for Blake Como. And congratulations, because it is their passion and their work that makes this show so much enjoyable to work on, and obviously has been reflected with some nice comments from people who view all the midweek programming in the National Hockey League. Congratulations, guys. You do a great job.
Here, here. And we appreciate all your help.
Absolutely. You got that right. Here's Sundin against the boards, playing it into the corner. Ponikarovsky couldn't get to it, and it's swept out into the center ice area, and after it is Cabina. Played around back of the net. Bergenheim is chasing him as Cabina banks it on to Antropov. 2-2 tie here in the second. Carberlay, Cabina closes in, and the shot is right into the breadbasket of Rick Dipietro. We had some shoving down low with Carberlay and Moore in there.
A real nice read by Dipietro, but it's amazing how the puck can do the work so often, much better than players skating with it. It's a good example. One-touch passes all the way up the ice. Comrie with a little give and go. Back to Cabina, who joins the rush. And the Leafs have done a good job with that tonight. But Dipietro reads it right away and jumps right out of the net. Trent Sr., the father, is here tonight. And Thomas Comrie watching his boy play.
Pretty good hockey player in his own right. Played for Kladno and was a member of the Czech national team. And a game at Maple Leaf Gardens in 1977 was the first time that a Carberlay played in Toronto, as he was over here playing in an exhibition game. And Thomas Carberlay a little upset with stuff down around the Islander goal.
So was Dad.
Yeah.
Shaking his head at the official.
Straighten that act out. And now a high stick clips Comrie, and it's into the corner. Comrie has recovered nicely, however. But a penalty is coming here, and I think Dominic Moore is going to get the penalty. So Moore goes to the penalty box, and the Islanders scored twice with the power play here.
Rides right up off to the stick and then right into the face of Comrie, so no question about that call.
And this is the 4th straight power play for the Islanders. Dominic Moore had an interesting comment. He said growing up, he really enjoyed the hockey video, The Passion Returns, that I know Mark Askin put together during the 1992-93 season. And he said they would watch that endlessly and enjoyed the antics of Doug Gilmour and Felix Potvin, that team of 93, and he and his brothers would sit around and watch that endlessly.
Where did they first see it, though, Joe?
Well, they saw it in their own home. I know that Mike Kitchen and Mike Murphy saw it at my house the first time during the summer after it was produced. Still, I think one of the best hockey videos that's ever been done. Out at center, here is Sundin. Trying to flip it in. That doesn't work. The three Leafs are caught. Here's a chance for the Islanders. Comrie to Stajan. Stajan to the net for Comrie. Scores! It just got over the line. Gill slaps it out, but there's no question that it was over the goal line as the Leafs, on a short-handed rush, get caught.
And there's no doubt about it. It was in Toskala with almost an incredible save, but there it is. There, yeah. Just over the goal line. As Comrie taps it in, right as it rolls and stops. Boy, that's close from that angle. Remember, that's from the back. But it all starts here with Matt Sundin. Gives the puck away, and the Islanders counterattack with speed. A 2-on-1 break. The pass across. And Toskala, as I mentioned, almost made an incredible save, but you will see here that clearly the puck is over the line there.
Right there, yeah. So the third power play goal of the game for the New York Islanders. And Kabina sending it around on the boards, and Comrie sends it back. The Leaf penalty killing had been pretty good. They've given up just 3 in 14 times short over the last 5 games. They've given up 3 here tonight in 4 opportunities for the Islanders. Fedotenko sends it in. The Islander power play isn't exactly the Montreal Canadiens power play. They're 24th in the league. Back in over the line for Fedotenko. Works it into the slot, a shot right on. Big save off Vasicek, made there by Toskala. Comrie from Stajan and Berard is the scoring play. As Dipietro tries to send it up the middle, it's blocked by Devereaux. And now it is Strawman regrouping in his own zone. Up ahead for Moore. Across the line, couldn't find Devereaux with a little flip pass. And the Islanders get it back into the Leaf end. Gill on the glass to center. Here's Moore bringing it in over the line. Sharp angle shot off the foot of Sutton. Back into the corner it goes, and unable to come up with it is Boyd Devereaux. And the Islanders will play it with Nielsen getting it back down into the Leaf end. Steve takes a hit from Nielsen, but finds Strawman. A pass went off Moore's stick, brought in way offside by the Islanders, and it will be whistled dead. Well, earlier you saw the fan favorite on the ice presenting the Molson. Comrie from Stajan and Berard. And the Leafs, who scored twice a minute and a half apart to take the lead, have now surrendered a couple of power play goals in the last 2 opportunities. And the Islanders have a 3-2 lead with 46 seconds to go. Played out into the center ice area. Bergenheim knocks it down into the Toronto zone. Poliakovo chasing. Bergenheim falls. Puck's underneath him. It's dug out by Stajan. Gets it in front of the net. A shot and a good save made by Toskala's right pad. Richard Park was right between the hash marks, right in the slot. Here's Stajan again, and another penalty is coming to Toronto.
When you don't move your feet as a group, you're going to get yourself into penalty trouble. And the Leafs have stopped skating here in this second period, in the second half of it, and that's why they're parading to the penalty box.
Dave Jackson with the call here. And there's...
Now that one may be a little bit suspect. Let's have another look at it from this angle.
Bryan McCabe's got his stick between the legs of Stajan right there. And when he falls like that, it's considered like that can opener type play, and that's the reason he's in the box.
Shot. Toskala makes the save. It goes around into the near corner. Steen can't get to it. Berard against the board centers. Comrie unable to find it. 1 second left in the period. And the horn will go. And the Leafs have got an uphill climb in the third to look forward to.
Well, not enough jump in the Leafs game. They climb back into this hockey game. They get a couple of breaks. Darcy Tucker one off his big toe, and then they sit back, and the Islanders come back with a couple of power play goals.
Well, and that's the key. 3 power play goals for the New York Islanders, and they start the third period. 1:44 on the power play. Leafs got to make sure they take care of business.
Just 7 Leaf shots in the second period. 22 total for the Islanders, who lead 3-2.
Welcome back. The Islanders shut out in terms of the power play 5 of the previous 6 games. However, tonight, Trent Hunter, a different story, and not all works of beauty, but bounces and dribbles that went your way.
Yeah, you know, sometimes that's the way it works, and you know, I think the guys are doing a good job of getting pucks to the net and bodies to the net, and you know, the guys are putting the pucks in.
You've been a leader on this team for 6 years. You've got the A with Brendan Witt out of the lineup. Can you measure the impact of what he will mean not in your lineup for the next 2 to 4 weeks?
Well, you know, Witter's a huge part of this team, and you know, every night he gives us everything he's got, and you know, he blocks shots, and he'll do whatever it takes to win. So, you know, it's a big loss for us, but you know, it gives some other guys an opportunity to step up, and you know, I think they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, stepped up they have. Thank you for this.
Thank you very much.
All right, Trent Hunter. Now time for the true taste of the game, brought to you by Molson Canadian. The Leafs will entertain Boston on CBC.
Third period ahead, and tonight's second period summary is brought to you by Cannon. Islanders led 1-0 after the first. In the second period, Tucker and Sundin made it 2-1 Leafs. Then 2 more power play goals by the Islanders, who've scored all 3 of their goals with the man advantage. Fedotenko and Comrie make it 3-2. And Berard starts, or at least McCabe starts the period in the box. You don't really have to look much past, and I'm not trying to put the onus on, because the power play is a 5-man unit that has to work. But Jason Blake had 14 power play goals a year ago. He has 1 this year. Darcy Tucker had 15 a year ago. He has 2 this year. And the Leaf power play, for whatever reason, has just not been able to generate offense on a regular, consistent basis. As a swatting play made by Dipietro to get rid of a rebound there. Kyle Wellwood was expected to be the catalyst down low. He fed Tucker a lot last year. That didn't work. Wellwood got hurt, and then his power play time has been limited as well. So it has, it's a strange animal. Some coaches practice it all the time. Some leave it alone.
Mike Keenan never practiced it when I had him as a coach, and it was a good power play.
3 years
Denny Savard as well playing. It wasn't bad. Doug Wilson. Steve Larmer, pretty good talent.
3 years playing for Keenan, as you said, Millsy. I think you could count on one hand and have fingers left over.
Yeah, how often they would practice, and yet, you know, sometimes it works. And it's really the creativity of the 5 guys who are out there and having the chemistry. One of the most successful power plays ever was one in Pittsburgh, and it was a bunch of cast-offs almost that came together. Paul Gardner and that group with a lot of others. It was a great power play as a shot from the point is deflected wide. Johnson into the corner now for Vasicek. Penalty is about to expire, now does. McCabe's out of the box, but they can't get the puck out of the Toronto zone. Steen working against Vasicek. Vasicek with a wraparound in front of the net. A shot down is Toskala. Still free, they bang away at it. Where is it? Another chance for Vasicek. And McCabe is out of the box to come away with it. Ryan McCabe waits for players to change and then rattles it in. Whoa, what a scramble that was.
Sure was. By the way, in one-goal games, the Islanders this year 16, 7, and 7. So they've been around this territory before, and they've been successful in these games.
Sundin trying to play it in. Off a glove, it goes to Ponikarovsky. Sharp angle. And he sent that trying to go high. And it's going to go up into the screen and out of play.
And this happened to the Toronto Maple Leafs in the second period. This time it's Carlo Koliakovo that does not get the puck out of the zone. Vasicek knocks it down, and the Islanders get a real good chance because of it. And what a scramble in front of the net afterwards.
Molson Canadian Hockey on Leafs TV is brought to you.
Carlo Koliakovo getting some work done with his skates. Brian Papineau is in getting them sharpened as it's cleared down into the Islander zone. Martinic blocked by Blake, sent towards the net, but that was blocked by Richard Park. Islanders back in over the line. Trent right up there. Strawman one-hands it with the glove and gets it out at center ice. Berard getting it returned from Bergeron. Bryan Berard's rink ride pass brings Bergenheim in with a weak shot wide of the net. Strawman along the boards for Tucker. Darcy Tucker getting it out at center, and it's tipped by Dominic Moore into the zone. That almost was picked off by Moore. The Islanders get it back into the Leaf end. Okay. One hands it back at the goal for Pavel Kabina. On for Tucker. Tipped but not out. Now Kabina has an opportunity to skate it out and finds McCabe. McCabe to the line. On the wing to Tucker. A pass back in for McCabe, and he couldn't get his stick down in time to make a redirect, but a penalty is coming here. A high stick. And who's getting it?
Nobody on the ice knows. And it's going to go to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and guess who? Brian McCabe again. And going through the slot, McCabe gets his stick up on Hilbert. Maurice can't believe it. And you can see his frustration. And there's the stick right into the face of Hilbert. The front official there doesn't see it. It's the back official that detects the penalty. And there's the call, no doubt about it. Careless use of the stick, that's 2 minutes. And Brian McCabe is becoming very familiar with the penalty box.
3:34. The Leafs had the first power play of the game when Johnson went off for a penalty in the first minute of the game. And since then, 7 straight Toronto penalties. Fedotenko sends it down into the zone, bounces to Hunter, and it is swept away by Kabina and sent down the ice.
And remember, the New York Islanders, normally it's the other way around. They've had 269 power plays against them, which is the 4th most in the NHL.
Which is more than 30, about 34 more times they've been short than been on the power play. Bergeron over for Berard. Back it comes to the near side, Fedotenko. Down into the corner, Vasicek. Back to Fedotenko. Vasicek once more. Hunter knocked down in front of the net. Berard shot. Big rebound, scores. Fedotenko. A very similar goal to which he scored in the second period. And the Islanders have scored 4 power play goals.
2 things on this play. First of all, pucks are going through the seam on the penalty kill, and the Leafs have to get their sticks in the passing lane. And there's an example of it there. Now the rebound by Toskala is not a good one, and Hal Gill again loses position on Fedotenko. He just stands beside him, but he's on the wrong side of him. He doesn't box him out at all. Toskala with good challenge, but not a very good rebound. And on that play, Toskala would like to get his stick on the puck instead of his goal pad. If you can get your stick on those, you can deflect them out of harm's way. If you don't, normally it's going to hit the goal pad and end up right in the slot.
4 for 7 on the power play. And the Islanders have the first 2-goal lead in the hockey game.
New York power play goal is
Dipietro sending it around on the boards. And Guerin will get it out into the center ice area, and here's a chance for Andy Hilbert. And a blocking arm save made there by Toskala. Hilbert will shoot it right back in again. Toskala settles it back behind the net. Comrie going back to retrieve it. Berard and Vasicek get the assists on the Islanders' 4th goal. And Bryan Berard has got a 3-point night, goal and 2 helpers. Sutton. Martinic off the stick of Como. It goes down into the Toronto end. Cage will play it around the board. Stajan can't come up with it. It's back into the center ice area. And Martinic takes charge there for the Islanders. Johnson will try to play it ahead. It's not going to be icing, so Gill has to go back and retrieve it. And now swings it on the backhand to Anton Strawman.
Joe, this is an Islander team, too, that has Mike Sillinger out, one of their better center icemen, one of the better face-off men in the National Hockey League. Brendan Witt, the man that's normally out against Matt Sundin. Gervais, a good young defenseman. Campoli, a good young puck-moving defenseman. Bates and Sim.
And it's a team that has lost or won just one of its last 8 games. They've gone 1-6-1 over that span. And Johnson now trying to play it out. Has done so. Icing is going to be called here as Gill is going to stride back to touch it up. You're watching Molson Canadian Leafs hockey here on Leafs TV. Tonight's Spotlight is brought to you by Rogers.
Now we're going to take a good look at Dipietro here, the way he moves the puck like another defenseman. Some of these passes are incredible. He'll hand it off when he has his defense with him. He communicates. They get away from him often as he makes plays. He'll get out of the blue paint and make no mistake 9 times out of 10 with the puck. He's just so good at helping the Islanders get out of their zone. Communicating well with his defenseman. And how about this pass? This is just a dandy. Not that one, but the one coming up. Here it is. Hard, boom,
right on
saucer,
the tape.
Right on the tape.
Yeah. You got to have a lot of confidence in yourself, because one of those that goes astray and it's an empty netter takes it away a little bit, but he is excellent with the stick.
He shoots it as well as a forward, so that helps his confidence considerably.
Now, do you have to break in a catching glove differently because you do handle the puck that much?
Joe, I talked about that, and I'll give you that story in a moment, because there is a story there. I asked him at the All-Star game about his puck handling and what the secret is for him.
All right, we're going to get an icing charge here, so you might get an opportunity to do that.
His puck handling is his catching glove, and he likes it to be exactly like a ball mitt. In other words, the way it closes. So it closes exactly the way a ball mitt would close, very loose and together, so he can get a good handle on the goal stick. I mean, those gloves look like they're brand new right out of the box. Let's take another look at them.
Exactly. Played in by Ponikarovsky, and Kilger is out there with Earl and Ponikarovsky on this ship. Shatan lays it down into the Toronto zone, and Comrie with 12:45 to go. It's the 4th time this year that the Islanders have had 3 or more power play goals in a game this season. Philadelphia Flyers have scored 3 or more power play goals in a game 6 times this year, which is most in the NHL. At the point, Berard with a pass into the slot area. Fedotenko, who is looking for his first ever hat trick. He's had 7 career 2-goal games. And he's got a pair on the power play here tonight. Kabina around back of the net. Right wing side, carries to the line and in, offside. I think Blake tried to cut into the area in front of Kabina, and it is offside. And a reminder about our Molson Canadian fan favorite. Here's the number to call on your spot. Strawman with a long shot. Blocking arm save made there by Dipietro. Laid to the side of the net. We talked about Dipietro looking like it's a brand new glove right out of the box. Was there anybody that played with more old equipment than that young man from the Carolina Hurricanes, as well as the San Jose Sharks, who came over from Europe that had those pillows. Arthur's Urbe. Remember him? I was trying to give you a hint.
Yeah, absolutely.
I played with him in San Jose, and those pads were about 10 years old when he was there, and he wore those throughout his whole career. So, I mean, pretty unbelievable that he would have that kind of stuff. He just hated new equipment. He'd send them back to Eagle all the time and get them restuffed.
Oh, sure. I remember the little, did a great job with the Sharks in the '94 playoffs, and the little Latvian goaltender. And he really hated old new equipment. Those gloves and the helmet and everything else were ancient. Sundin tried to bring it in. Did you like new stuff?
I used to take the pads out of the box at training camp. That was my instant excuse that I couldn't move during training camp, let alone I was well overweight.
Okay.
And then I used them the whole season.
And never changed.
And now, often goalies will go through 4, 5, 6 pair of pads in a year.
Really.
It's amazing how it's changed.
Yep. Steen with the shot. Got it through. Kilger trying to get a shot away. Is taken down by Freddie Meyer. There'll be a penalty here to the Islanders.
Dipietro very slow to get up at the moment also.
He
may have got speared on this play.
So the first Leaf power play since the first minute of the first period.
Kilger goes hard. Box. Yeah, Kilger goes hard to the net here. And Meyer will take him right in. And he banged his head right there on Meyer. Dipietro, he seems to be okay, but that is the penalty as well. So the Maple Leafs with 10:53 to go desperately need to get the power play going here.
9:07 the time of the infraction. Sundin with Steen and Antipov, and he may not be quite 100% yet. Carvalho with a pass across. Oh, he looked okay there. He came across quickly with that left pad to stop Antipov.
He is still a little bit foggy down in the net, but not too bad, I guess.
Sundin rattles it in. Dipietro couldn't trap that. Steen gets it around back of the goal. Antipov falls. Now trying to flip it out in front. It's picked off there. And Vasicek is going to carry it out at center ice to Trent Hunter, who fakes the shot and then lets it go. And almost handcuffs Toskala. He's searching for it. And the puck is, there it is, right behind him.
That almost squeaked through him. And at the other end, after Dipietro was rattled a little bit, hitting his head on his defenseman, he comes right back off the faceoff. What a pass by Comrie, and gets his left pad somehow on the puck on the scramble on that cross play across the ice.
Boy, Alex McGillney was outstanding at that. That one-timer from about that angle. And Carvalho would saucer it over to him, and Alex McGillney would hammer it.
Alexei Kovalev, for me, is the best in the game right now.
He is, absolutely.
The fellow who wore number 32 here wasn't so bad either.
No, you're right. Stevie Thomas could do it, couldn't he? Blake at the point. Carvalho with lots of traffic. Blake doesn't shoot it. Carvalho doesn't shoot it. They've got a man without a stick flailing around down there, and Andy Hilbert. Cabino will shoot it. That stopped the rebound. Score! Stay tuned for a fire wagon finish.
Well, Hilbert loses his hockey stick on this play. As the puck will go back to the half boards, and he loses a stick right there. Blake took it right out of his hands. And now the Leafs use that to their advantage. There's a quick catch with Hilbert being the top man. And then sooner or later, the shot will get through from the point. Stajan just loses his check. Martinet's legs, and then just spins around. And the Leafs have done a good job here getting pucks through on the power play. And they do it again here as Cabina rifles it, and Stajan with the wraparound scores it.
13th of the year for Matt Stajan, who banked one in off Tucker's leg for the Leafs opening goal. And another penalty is coming here. Sundin taken down with a high stick.
Joe Bowen, you tell me that these two guys are best friends
Yes,
when they played
Yeah.
together here in Toronto.
Yeah, Woonsocket, Rhode Island native Bryan Berard, 30 years of age. Matt Sundin, and an inadvertent high stick there by Berard. And look, he goes over to make sure he's all right. I'll talk to you after the game. Sorry about that. And off to the penalty box. So the Leafs get a chance to tie the game with a power play goal here.
Come on, you're not supposed to say you're sorry, guys.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Bobby. Well, it is Valentine's Day, and love is never having to say you're sorry. Saw that in the movie once.
We all know about that,
Yeah,
don't
no
we, Joe?
kidding. Yeah, exactly. Back to the point. Carvalho keeping it in. Saucers it off to Sundin. Sundin down it goes here. Steen around back to the net to Sundin at the half boards to the point. Carvalho's drive is gloved by Dipietro and cleared but not out. McKay drills it off the glove and into the screen. Dipietro may have got a little too fancy with the stick right there.
But you know, he battles and gets himself out of it. Here's the first catch through traffic, a beauty. Now he's going to take off, but he fans as he drops it down, and it jams him. And now what does he do? He makes sure he's going to get a stop on this one on the McCabe shot. There's no way he was going to let that in after letting the puck get away from him on the giveaway.
139, Antropov! What a chance! As the faceoff went right out in front of the net. Carvalho works it over to McKay. To Antropov. Antropov to Steen. Antropov again. McCabe to the middle. To Sundin. To McCabe. Challenged by Hunter. Antropov doesn't shoot it. Trying to find Carvalho in front. Picked off and shot into the crowd.
And so the Maple Leafs are going to have a 5-on-3 here for a good minute 7 or less.
It's the 12th time this season that the Leafs will have a two-man advantage. They've scored just 1 goal.
And the puck is rolling. And moments before that, Antropov, that's a set play. Antropov is ready on that play, and Matt Sundin just tries to go straight across with this draw. It goes through everybody's legs. Antropov's ready for it. He just misses the net.
Martinic in the box. A minute 7 of a 5-on-3. McKay, Carvalho takes the shot. Sundin to Carvalho again to McKay. Can't shoot that. Carvalho will try to set it up for him. Sundin down low. Centers in front. They jump away at it. Still free. McKay drills it. That was blocked. Oh my. Andy Sutton took that right on the wrist or in the chest. And he's gone to the bench. Carvalho to Antropov. McKay to Carvalho. Sundin centers off the leg. It went wide. Can McCabe keep it in? Yes, he can. 24 seconds left in the first penalty. Tucker is out there as well. Carvalho to Sundin. Back to Carvalho off a stick. Great play made there by Johnson. Back into the zone. 10 seconds in the 5-on-3. Off the stick of McCabe on a good play by Richard Park. The first penalty is over. Sundin to the line with Steen. Into the corner. Off a stick. Steen gets it freed up for Jason Blake. Back for Brian McCabe. To Blake. 7:07 to go in the third. Blake with the shot. Big save, big rebound. McCabe trying to feather it in, and it's intercepted and shot down the ice. Anton Strawman with the second group to Stajan. Trying to go wide. Puts the brakes on. Stajan to Strawman. Return to Stajan. Now to Strawman. The shot! Oh, bounced, and a great glove save made there by Dipietro. That looked like it was going in. The penalty is over as Stajan gets it into the corner. He's thrown to the boards by Hunter. as the Leafs squander a minute and 7 of a 5-on-3. They've scored just 1 goal with a 2-man advantage this year. I mean, you talk about the power play having difficulties. There is a perfect example.
And here's a 2-on-1 coming up, except Comrie doesn't have a hockey stick. He has to go get one.
And over the line, offside.
Now he goes offside because of it.
Last year, the Leafs scored 15 5-on-3 goals.
Very worried that, uh-oh, here we go again. And the good news for Carlo Koliakovo, and he's been fine after tweaking it early in the game, and he's played a very good game.
Too many men on the ice.
The New York Islanders are waltzing to the penalty box again.
So after not taking any, the Islanders have taken the last 4. And
so the marbles are starting to even up in the pockets.
Yes, they are. You don't suggest.
No, I don't.
That would happen.
No, they've been all penalties, and this is another one that's definitely a penalty. The officials hate when you say that, too,
I know that.
So does the league. But this is no doubt about it. Yep, too many men on the ice.
Yeah.
And they've been all good calls, in fairness to the officials.
Comrie will serve the penalty.
And I'll tell you, looks could kill. There's a coach when you see too many men on the ice penalty at this stage of the hockey game.
Yeah.
He gets the slow burn going for sure.
Yeah, and now the discussion is, whose fault was it? I'll tell you what, the toughest blocked shot of the game was Andy Sutton's on Bryan McCabe from about 10 feet away from him. But he's back into the game as Antropov gets it in over the line. Around back of the net, Dipietro pushes it away from Sundin. Kept in by Comrie, but cleared by the Islanders out and down the ice off the stick of Martinic. Comrie back of the goal. 5:14 to play, third period. Steen mishandled it a bit, plays it in, but it's right to Dipietro. It's offside anyway, so it's bringing back into the neutral zone. There's Andy Sutton.
One of the things you never want to do is go offside on a power play. Let's revisit this blocked shot here by Sutton.
This is going to hurt.
Oh.
Rambo.
Ow! And for him to even be back on the ice is unbelievable. Broken finger all over it, didn't it?
Boy. That, or I thought it might have hit his wrist, but he's very fortunate to be back into the game. Here's Stajan. Comrie to Stajan. Blake and Tucker with them. Kopina with a shot. That goes off a leg wide, and Blake has the loose puck.
There's nobody in front of the net here for the Maple Leafs in the power play. Somebody's got to get there.
Blake.
There's Tucker.
Back at the point. Tucker's back in front of the net. Kopina to the point to Comrie. Comrie, the deflection right on. Stajan with a great deflection of a Comrie shot. More of a pass. Andy Sutton with a chance to clear. Running into a little bit of a hornet's nest, but shows you some nice stick handling, and he gets it out and down the ice.
Almost puts it over the glass again.
36 seconds left in this power play. The Leafs 5th. To the line and offside, and it'll be brought back with 4:13 to play in the third period.
Well, we showed you a graphic earlier in this period about the Leafs and their 1-goal game losses, and we underlined the one thing: 3 power play goals in that span of losses. And here we are in another 1-goal game, and the power play has had ample opportunity in this third period to make some noise. And the 5-on-3, they didn't even get hardly a shot on it.
McCabe drills it in. Dipietro can't knock that down, but Sundin has to Antropov. Back to the point it comes. Anton Stralman over to McCabe. McCabe mishandled it, but is able to get it in deep. Antropov back to the goal to Sundin in the corner to the point. Stralman to Sundin. Sundin with the shot. Big rebound, and it's going to be cleared by the Islanders. Vasicek down the ice. Stralman. Ahead for Kilger. Couldn't get in over the line cleanly, and it'll be McCabe trying to push it ahead. Steen to Stralman with Earl, and down into the zone as the penalty is expired, and the Leafs do not get the equalizer with a man advantage.
Another example how they give the puck to Dipietro, and he gets the puck out of the zone in a hurry for his defenseman.
3:17 left to play in the third period. Comrie to the line. Wrist shot is just off the mark. He had Dipietro leaning the other way. Now he gets the paddle down to make a save. Into the corner for Comrie. In front of the net, Ponikarovsky. And a great play by Dipietro to come out and get square to the shot and take it off the chest. Comrie will play it into the corner for Garrett. Kavina on to Ponikarovsky, dropped it back, got it again from Earl, back in for Earl. A little bit too high. Robbie Earl into the corner now, trying to generate some offense. And Koliakovo can't keep it in. Tucker got it back for Carlo Koliakovo, and he'll regroup with Brian McKay. 2.5 minutes to play in the third. Como will launch it high and into the Leaf end, and Koliakovo is there to find McKay.
Now the Islanders have put 5 guys in the neutral zone and just try and plug it up.
Blake in over the line, got a chance to shoot it. That was blocked. Cleared to the line. Koliakovo kept it in. Broken stick. Tucker trying to work it along. Blake tries to help him out. Blake back of the net. Stajan trying to work against Martinez. Back for Blake. Coming out of the corner. To the point to McCabe. The turnaround wrist shot is blocked in front. And the Islanders are going to try and get it out. And Vasicek does. 1:47 to play. Tucker. Sundin off the bench. Good play by Hunter to get his stick in the passing lane and knock that pass right out of the air. Husker is going to be forced to hang on. 1:35 to play. And another way to watch the Leafs on TV.
Play by Hunter defensively, and Ted Nolan told me this morning he thinks he's one of the better third-line players in the National Hockey League. He's become a real strong board player, big hitter, and good defensively.
Good numbers too, 8 goals, 30 points.
And he said if he could only score a little more, he'd be even a better hockey player for him.
There's
the case of a lot of third-liners.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're third-liners.
Exactly.
Into the corner, Sundin and Koskela to the bench. Here's Vasicek failing to get it out. Antropov along the boards with Fedotenko. Steen and Frederick Meyer in along the boards. It comes free. Push back to Kavina, over here to Comrie. The shot coming, it's wide. Kavina fires it from that side, stopped by Sundin in front. Meyer trying to get it out. Net is empty. And in.
Wow.
Off the post and in.
I thought that was going wide, and it went right off the post.
And the Islanders are going to come away with another win.
Berard's had a good game. Meyer's been excellent. And the Islanders here just chip it off the boards. And Antropov lost his stick on the play, so he had to go to the bench and get a stick. And this one went right off the post and in to seal the victory for the New York Islanders.
And Meyer will get his first goal of the year. He's terrific when the goaltender's out.
Well, you know, with Trent and Witt out of this hockey game, they had to have guys step up and take charge, and they did just that in this hockey game today.
That ended a goalless drought for Freddie Meyer of 74 games. So you're going to take him any way you can.
I like his game defensively, though. Once again tonight, he's made several strong plays in front of their goaltender, Dipietro.
Comrie to center. Goaltender is out again. 32 seconds left to go in the third period. Sundin centering attempt hit Sutton in the skate. He tries it again off the blocking arm of Dipietro. Another shot, loose puck in front, they score! 18 seconds left. Lots of traffic in front, but
did I
maybe
speak too soon?
Too late.
You never know. As the Leafs win a puck battle here down low, as Blake will take the puck and just throw it towards the net, and it hits an Islander player, and Ponikarovsky's left wide open in front. He just chips it by Dipietro, who never did find the initial shot from Blake.
14th of the year for Ponikarovsky. But there isn't much time left. The Leafs are going to call a timeout. 18.3 seconds to go.
Well, one more.
Not much time. Third time in the last 6 games that the Leafs have scored 4 goals.
Becomes a very big face-off all of a sudden for the Maple Leafs. If they can win the draw and get it back to the blue line, they're going to hammer it around and overload the side.
If they scored a goal in the final 18 seconds and played overtime, there wouldn't be an awful lot of people here to watch it.
There's nobody left.
No. After the goal into the empty net by Meyer, everyone headed for the exits. Sundin, Ponikarovsky, and Antropov, 6 attackers on there, and Blake is wide right. Carverlet sends a long shoot-in, but to the wrong goaltender.
Not to the goals.
Send it out at center. Hunter will bring it to the goal line. Thrown out into the center ice area by McCabe. 5 seconds left, and it's a glove pass because it comes out over the line.
It was almost like Comrie didn't know what to do with it. I mean, if you're going to do that play, wire it around the boards hard and overload his zone. Don't give it to the goaltender, particularly Dipietro, because he's one of the best guys in the league.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work.
No, not a chance that was going to work.
He needed to take another stride and wire it in.
Wire it around hard. Hope Dipietro doesn't get to it and then overload the one side.
And with 5 seconds left, the draw is in the Leaf zone, and there's still 6 attackers out there. Shot down the ice. Dipietro might take a crack at the empty net, but he doesn't have to. The game is over. And the Leafs will make it a 1-goal hockey game and continue to struggle in those circumstances as Rick Dipietro and the New York Islanders come in to beat the Maple Leafs by a score of 5-4.
Well, the Maple Leafs really didn't fire in this hockey game. They played a wonderful game last night in Buffalo, didn't have anything to show for it afterwards, and tonight they come in here a little bit flat, and the Islanders just plain outworked them. And the difference in the game, obviously, the special teams.
Yep, well, that's part of our big story. It's brought to you by Future Shop. The Leafs had a 5-on-3 for a minute 7, Greg, and could not get one in behind.
And really didn't get many good chances other than this particular play there in the crease where Dipietro made very well, but some good quick sticks by the New York Islanders, some block shots. There was one by Sutton. Here's an excellent play there with a quick stick by Park. Another one there. And the New York Islander penalty kill was almost as good as their power play tonight, which was excellent.
And our Molson Canadian 3 stars tonight: Matt Stajan, Fedotenko, and Bryan Berard, who has a 3-point night. And our Molson Canadian fan favorite is Matt Sundin, who scored his, 24th goal of the season here tonight. But the New York Islanders' special teams were the key to their success. They score 4 power play goals. The Leafs can muster just 1.
Yes, and then come up with a real big 5-on-3 penalty kill in the 3rd period as well.
So after losing a 1-0 game in Buffalo last night, the Maple Leafs fall to the Islanders 5-4 to start 5 straight on home ice prior to the trade deadline. The Leafs lose it on home ice to the Islanders. Stay tuned now. Leafs Nation postgame coming your way.
So the 5-game homestand starts off with a loss to the New York Islanders. Another 1-goal loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs. 5-4 is the final in this one. Welcome to Leafs Nation postgame. Andy Bertolo, Mark Osborne, and Rob Sameta. Lots to talk about in this one, but first we have to go back to ice level where Paul Hendrick is joined by Bryan Berard.
Thanks very much, Brian. Congratulations. Great to see you back in Toronto. And it's a night that special teams were very special on both sides of the puck for you guys, especially in that 3rd period.
It definitely was. It's good to be back in Toronto, too. And this is a big game for us. We needed 2 points. And, penalty killing came up big for us there at the end. And our power play was on point tonight.
And guys sacrificed the bodies. We showed Mr. Sutton from several different angles, but just getting in front of that puck and perhaps keeping you guys in this hockey game.
Definitely. Sutton and Brendan Witt have been big shot blockers for us this year. And obviously, we've got Ricky back there. So if the puck gets through, he's one of the best goaltenders in the league. And, penalty killing's been good all year. Our power play struggled at times, but tonight I think, special teams won the game for us.
Brian, it's a tough struggle out of the Eastern Conference to get into the top 8. Does this team firmly believe it's capable of getting on a run and perhaps getting into that top 8?
No question. It's, it is about belief, and we struggled lately, but last 2 games we've turned around. We're starting to play better hockey, and we're just going to keep plugging. We got to believe, we got to win every night, and this team has the confidence to do that.
All right, Brian. Great to see you back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bryan Berard with 6 points in his last 5 games. Let's send it upstairs to Joe and Greg.
Thanks very much, Paul. Well, the legacy of this edition of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
We mentioned one of the guys who had a multi-point game. That was Bryan Berard, but we take you back to when he was a Toronto Maple Leaf back in 2000 with this eye injury. This is March 2000. He missed the entire next season, but what kind of an example does he set for other players in the league when he can come back and continue to play in the NHL?
Well, you know what? It's an amazing story, Andy, because the fact is that, yes, he did miss the entire next season. That was a Marian Hossa stick that hit him in the eye, obviously, and then he comes back and plays 82 full season games for the New York Rangers. And then tonight, right there, crawling in off the point, poking in there, banging in that rebound goal to put the Islanders up 1-0 early in that first period. And I thought he made some tremendous, great outlet passes as well as we watched him tonight. He had a 3-point night, 1 goal and 2 assists. So Bryan Berard, who has been a healthy scratch, mind you, for 6 out of the last 10 Islander games. So with Witt out and Campoli out, the fact is that he comes in the lineup and has a tremendous night and comes back and is one of the stars.
Well, that's exactly what Ted Nolan said this morning. With guys like Brendan Witt out of the lineup now, this is time for Bryan Berard to stand up. How much does it mean for a player to actually take advantage of that opportunity?
Well, listen, those opportunities for young guys and anybody that's out of the lineup, they can step in and contribute. That's pretty important. And I think that's what we're looking for in Toronto too. Any of these guys that, you know, because of the injuries, can step up and contribute on a night-by-night basis. It can be very, very helpful.
So you mentioned he had a goal and 2 assists on the night for a total of 3 points. Bryan Berard, for a guy who's been a healthy scratch, not too bad. Well, we've got more coming up on Leafs Nation postgame. A 5-4 loss in favor of the Islanders over the Leafs. They have 4 more games to go on home ice. More coming up after the break. It may have started off a little slow in the first period, but this game definitely picked up in the second and third. We take you now to Game in a Flash, brought to you by Ford.
Here's Comrie, down low for Stajan, trying to send it through, they score! Going to the net was Bryan Berard. A chance in front for Stajan. Off a skid, scores! What a brilliant goal! Comrie puts the brakes on, finds some room to Ponikarovsky. Wrist shot doesn't make it through, but it goes right to Comrie. His shot is on goal! They score! Hunter had some problems with it, loses it, but it's regained by the Islanders. Faceoff closes in, he hit the post, they score! In the doorstep and in the blue paint was Fedotenko. 3 Leafs are caught. Here's a chance for the Islanders. Comrie to Stajan. Stajan to the net. The Comrie scores! It just got over the line. Faceoff once more. Hunter knocked down in front of the net. Berard shot. Big rebound, scores. Fedotenko. A very similar goal to which he scored in the second period. Shoot it. They've got a man without a stick flailing around down there, and Andy Hilbert. Cabino will shoot it. That stopped the rebound, score!
And that is all she wrote. We talk about the Leafs power play, but how much of a factor did Rick Dipietro play on the Islanders penalty kill?
Well, you know what? Billy Garrett mentioned it earlier today, Andy, that this guy gives the Islanders an opportunity to win night in and night out. He's an unreal goaltender. The fact is how he can handle a puck, certainly on the PK, was unreal. And towards the end of the game, when Thomas Caberlet, instead of dumping it in, fires it on Rick Dipietro, where is that going to go? Simply down the ice. But on that 5-on-3, halfway through that third period, he made a number of huge, huge saves. That, in my opinion, was the turning point of the night when the Leafs were on the power play, 5-on-3, and he made a number of key saves.
Well, the Leafs had 5 power plays and a total of 11 shots on him during that time, which of course included a 5-on-3. We hear now from Rick Dipietro, the winning goaltender of tonight's match.
Penalty killing a big key to the win tonight?
Yeah, I mean, especially that third period, we knew that having had so many power plays in the first 2, that there was a chance we could go down a couple times in the third, and penalty kill bailed us out there in the on the 5-on-3.
Pretty good when your power play is working that way. I guess it makes it easier to win again.
Yeah, absolutely. We're finding a way to get to the net and get some of those, garbage type rebound goals that we weren't getting the first half of the season. So it's good to see it's positive, and I think we continue to play better and better here.
How important was the win? You guys are near the bottom of the conference, but to beat a team below you is pretty key.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say
I think we're only like 4 points out of a playoff spot, so I mean I wouldn't say we're that close to the bottom. You know, we put ourselves in a hole, but you know, we're just working hard and battling and trying to win games here.
You weren't tested too terribly in the first couple of periods, and then the Leafs get a goal to cut the lead, and in a 1 minute 7 long 5-on-3, that must have been huge for you guys in the end.
Yeah, I mean anytime you kill a 5-on-3, especially when you're only up a goal, is huge.
So a second night in a row, the Leafs faced some hot goaltenders. But did you like the way there was that scoring though from the Leafs? I mean, it was too easy for him. He got 2 goals on the night. We hear from Fedotenko.
Oh yeah, it's big for us. I mean, everybody's fighting for the playoff spots for every point, and I think it was a big 2 points for us.
Did you feel that special teams were the difference tonight?
Yeah, actually, you know, I think we would have 3 power play goals, I believe, and 4. Thank you. Yeah, so I think it was unbelievable. You know, it's just you know, they take a couple of penalties, and you know, we take advantage of that. So that was huge.
In the last 10 games, you only had 3 power play goals total. Or why were you so effective tonight?
I don't know. I think we're just trying to work, go to the net and crush the net and take advantage of that. And I think, you know, like my 2 goals, it was right, you know, kind of in the front of the net. They battled through and get some rebounds. So I think that was part of the success today.
Have the Islanders all around just shocked anybody watching this game, considering we couldn't stop talking about their lack of offensive production?
Yeah, you know what? If you're a betting man, Andy, you would not have predicted the Islanders could, in fact, with some of their injuries, come in and their inept offense steal 2 points here at the Air Canada Centre. But you know what? I'm not a betting man, therefore the Islanders end up winning the hockey game.
Yeah, players this morning said just as quickly as we fall, we can very quickly go up. And that was a belief that Ted Nolan has instilled in his team. Let's hear what the Islanders head coach had to say after their 2nd win in a row.
Yeah, you know, the guys, give them a lot of credit. They skated hard and moved the puck, and we got some lucky breaks and pucks bounced through, and some days are going to be like that, but we'll take it.
You guys seem to kind of come unglued a little bit in the 3rd period, and the Leafs kind of got a quick one early, and then killing off the 2-man advantage had to be especially big for you guys. Yeah, but our penalty killers did a great job for us, and like I said, when we're losing three of our defensemen like we have been, and guys jumping in for the first time, I thought they did a great job. Andy Sutton played one of his better games for us, and young Aaron Johnson's jump up, and Bryan Berard making a couple good plays. So those guys really stepped in and did a great job for us tonight.
Ted, did you just feel more of a sense of urgency from your power play tonight?
Well, we have to have a sense of urgency throughout the whole team, and you're going to win some games. Your special team's a big part of it, and penalty killing's been huge almost all year, and our power play tonight was really good.
How important was it to get that 2-goal cushion?
It's really important. I mean, for us to have any kind of lead, it's important, but when you have a 2-goal cushion, it makes you breathe a little bit easier, so it was nice.
Any quite some time, something like that, get a goal not so often.
Well, you know, Freddie's done a terrific job for us this year. I mean, we put him on waivers. He got claimed on waivers, got put back on waivers, reclaimed on waivers, and came and worked himself back in a position where he got a 2-year contract, and he just seems to be one of those reliable defensemen for us.
Seems like Ted Nolan talking about his penalty killers. 5 minutes, 47 seconds is what Andy Sutton saw on the PK. He had the job of covering Matt Sundin with Brendan Witt out of the lineup. How did you like his play?
Well, you know what? He did a tremendous job, Andy. He led all Islanders with 24 minutes of ice time, and the fact is he had 4 block shots on the night. He got the assignment of perhaps shutting down or trying to shut down Matt Sundin, and again, he did a tremendous job. Ted Nolan, his coach, agrees. Somebody had to step up, and the big man, 6'5", 235 pounds, makes a real big block here on the 5-on-3 in that 3rd period. His willingness to simply get in front of that puck, and that's exactly what he did.
Is that the key, just sacrificing the body on the penalty kill?
I think so, a little bit. I mean, Mark talked about it before the game, too, the desperation, wanting to win. Here's a guy that stepped up, was playing physical, blocking shots, doing everything he could to help his goaltender out. That's what you like to see from the Toronto Maple Leafs, chasing for a playoff spot.
And is that...
Islanders facing the Leafs as Toronto starts a 5-game homestand. Highlights courtesy of Leafs TV.
But he bogs it down, now drops it off for Bergenheim, going to the middle, rebound, and Tuskula down. Still has it freed up and underneath his pad. Blake in front for Stajan, back to the point, Strom and drive, hit the crossbar. Here's Comrie, down low for for Stajan. Trying to send it through. They score! Going to the net was Bryan Berard. Chance in front for Stajan. Off a stick. Scores! What a brilliant goal! How did Matt Stajan know he could bank that in like that? Wrist shot doesn't make it through, but it goes right to Comrie. His shot is on goal. They score! Much better goal than the last one. Right along the boards, Hunter had some problems with it, loses it, but it's regained by the Islanders. Vasicek closes in, he hit the post, they score! And the Islanders have tied it with a power play goal. Comrie to Stajan, Stajan to the net, the Comrie scores! It just got over the line. Vasicek once more, Hunter knocked down in front of the net, Berard shot, big rebound, scores! Fedotenko. May not be quite 100% yet. Comrie with a pass across. Oh, he looked okay there. They've got a man without a stick flailing around down there, and Andy Hilbert. Cabino will shoot it. That stopped the rebound. Score! Matt Stajan. Comrie will try to set it up for him. Sundin down low. Centers in front. They jump away at it. Still free. McCabe drills it. That was blocked. Meyer trying to get it out. Net is empty. And in. Wow. Off the post and in. Another shot, loose puck in front, they score. 18 seconds left. The game is over. And the Leafs will make it a one-goal hockey.
5-4 is the final. New York 4 for 7 on the power play. 6 of their last 8 goals at the ACC have been with the extra man. Toronto 1 for 5, and Bryan Berard has a 3-point night against his former team. Toronto slips further in the standings. They're down to 15th. As the fans talk more about getting a high draft pick, the coach is trying to keep their focus on the game. He talked on Leafs TV.
Maple Leafs beginning a 5-game homestand, 1 point out of the East Basement facing the Isles. Islanders power play in the first. Miro Jetan's pass finds Bryan Berard, the former Leaf, nets his 5th of the season. 1-0 New York. Midway through the second, Matt Stajan tries to find Darcy Tucker, but he finds better. The back of the net. The pass actually deflects in off Tucker for his 10th. 1-1 hockey game. Minute and a half later, Thomas Caberlet stopped, but Matt Sundin puts away the rebound. His 24th of the season, puts Toronto up a goal. Watch the right of your screen. Bryan McCabe called for hooking, resulting power play. Josef Vasicek hits the post, but Ruslan Fedotenko rebound is 11th, ties it at 2. Under 3 minutes later, New York got another power play, 3-on-1. Jetan sets up Mike Comrie for his 17th, and it did cross the line. Isles by 1 after 2. Early in the third, McCabe gets called for high sticking. Cue the Isles power play. Fedotenko taps in his 2nd of the game, number 12 for him, 4-2 New York. Toronto now on the power play. Matt Stajan spins, scores. His 13th, cuts the lead to 1. Midway through the third, Leafs on another power play. Thomas Caberlet's point shot, gloved by Rick Dipietro, tries to clear it himself. It's stopped at the line, and then Dipietro stops the point shot. Nick Antropov comes close, firing wide in the slot on the same power play. Radek Martinez clears it over the glass. That's a delay of game penalty. A Leafs 5-on-3. Sundin centers. Nobody can jam it in. McCabe lobs one up for Jason Blake, but Dipietro comes up big. Leafs cannot capitalize on the 5-on-3 as the Islanders hold on for a 5-4 win. New York 4 points up on the Leafs, and they're 4 points out of a playoff spot. By the way, Leafs second last in the entire NHL. Only the Kings are worse. By the way, this is the first time that Vesitoskala had ever faced the Islanders in his career. He had played against all teams other than them coming into this one. So the Isles, 4 goals on the power play. Safe to say that special teams won and lost this game.
They did a good job on their power play, obviously getting 3, I think, tonight. And you know, like you said, we got some chances toward the end to tie up the game and couldn't take advantage of that opportunity.
They put shots at the net, and we didn't control the front of the net very well at all. Something we had done. But our power play, the 5-on-3, you know, you get those 3 looks, you want to make sure the puck's in the net.
Even though he's approaching 40.